Hello there everybody, it's Malcolm Budden here, and I'm going to give you a short update on where we are with the WAN design course from MNB Networks. It's due to run on the 31st of August to the 4th of September. We've got enough candidates signed up now in order to run the course, so that will definitely go ahead. The thing that I wanted to cover was how the course content is progressing to give people a bit of a better understanding on that. First of all, the course objectives, what are we actually trying to achieve? We want every candidate to have a clear understanding on the following things. So different WAN topologies and technologies and the different access methods that are available, how and when to utilise different WAN designs, routing protocol selection, articulating WAN designs in a whiteboard and diagram format, a step process in requirements gathering, so we'll look at things like RFIs, request for information, interviews with customers and things like that. The recommended approach, so every WAN design is going to be slightly different depending on the customer requirements. However, there will be a consistent structured approach between every WAN design that you do, or hopefully there will be after you attend this course. We will talk about migration from legacy designs and some of the gotchas involved, and then also where automation tools like Python, Ansible, and possibly things like NSO fit into the puzzle. These are the 6 high-level sections that have already been advertised as part of the course, and I think that it's taken a little bit of time for me to flesh these out, but let me explain to you how that looks in regards to the actual course content. So this is the agenda, the detailed agenda, which has been sent out to candidates. And one thing to note is we've added a bonus section. So we actually have 7 sections instead of 6. It's called Network Design Fundamentals. The reason for this is I believe that there's certain design fundamentals, as I mentioned earlier, that will be consistent with every single network design that you do. So it doesn't matter whether you're doing a LAN, WAN, security, wireless, data center, UC design, there is certain things that a network designer needs to have available to them in regards to tools and also the correct mindset and some example approaches. So this particular section, we cover the design process, how to gather requirements, the gathering requirements approach, conceptual, high level and low level designs and what they could potentially look like. We'll talk about that a little more in a second. Then we have the 6 sections. So we have section 1, which is WAN topologies, and we can see that these have really been broken out into quite a detailed explanation. So for section 1, we'll do WAN topologies overviews, we'll talk about underlays and overlays, MPLS based enterprise WAN design, DWDM, dark fiber, internet based design before moving on. So we'll talk about those in isolation before moving on to the next section, which is all about using multiple different WAN technologies together, but how they integrate with each other and some of the things that you need to watch for. In section 3, we'll talk about WAN scaling. So that could be regional, just in a small section of or small region within a country, or it could be up to global, and there's different requirements that you need to think about when we move into scaling a network design up, but you really need to think about that at the start of the design. This all lays the groundwork for SD-WAN and automation, which is where the industry is going. You have to have your house in order, as in the underlay and the underlying technologies, and understand how those operate before you can start putting SD-WAN automation in place. So we will cover that, and we will cover typical SD-WAN architectures, how most of the net SD-WAN designs look, and they all have their own quirks, but they pretty much operate in the same way. And then we're looking into if we're able to do a few demonstrations, so Viptela via dCloud, VeloCloud via On-Demand Labs, and I'm also looking at the potentially Fortinet. This is not a technology training course, it's just that we want to show the dashboard, show how things fit together on the back of the SD-WAN module. WAN migrations, they can vary from a very simple cable cut over to a very complex global scenario. So you can see there the detailed points. We're going to cover quite a lot in that section. And then finally, section 6, we will have some high and low level design examples, which we will provide to every student, and hopefully with what you've learned on the course, you will be able to utilise them in your own environment, in your own projects, and tailor them to your own specific requirements. So the other thing that I wanted to talk about is this is an addition, so you will get all of that in the course over the 5 days. There will be the virtual classroom, which we've already covered in a previous module, or a previous video I should say. But if you've not seen what that looks like, it looks like so, where we have a virtual classroom environment and also access to our online diagram software tool. In addition to that, we are also going to include some upcoming books which I'm writing. One of them, and they align 100% more or less to this course. They're not required for the course, but they will align to the course. So if we take Network Design Fundamentals, what I'm doing is splitting it into 2 separate books, and the reason for that is Network Design Fundamentals is a subject in itself. We'll cover what we need to do in order to deliver the course effectively for the WAN design course, but we will be including this bonus section in every one of our instructor-led courses. So it's almost like a precursor module that we'll cover. So if I do data center design courses or things like that in the future, the network design fundamentals will be consistent across every instructor-led course, and these subjects will be covered. That actually leads me on to the next section, where my first book, which will be published hopefully by October 2020, is Network Design Fundamentals. And this is a snapshot of what the book will look like. Again, I've taken the subject matters from the course and fleshed them out in the book. So we're going to talk about anything from what is network design documentation, the different types of network design roles and the responsibilities, how to pursue a career in network design, and then some of the considerations and behaviours that you're going to have if you want to be a network architect or designer. We talk about decision making, gathering requirements. So this is really that first module in the WAN design course. This will be a book that complements that, talks about what is a HLD, what is an LLD, migration and test plans, etc, etc. The second book that I'll be publishing is Real Life WAN Designs, and this is going to be part of a series of books, hopefully, that I'm able to do. The contents table is messed up there, but don't worry about that. So, it's because I removed the network design fundamentals part. But if we skip down here to section 1, topologies, so again it aligns with the subject matters that we talk about in the WAN design course. So the WAN topologies and overview, underlays, overlays, but you see we have all of these sub points which scale each section out, and we'll have diagrams, tables, explanations, etc. We talk about the different MPLS technologies, DWDM overviews, internet, gluing them together. So hopefully you get the idea of where we're going with this. If you attend the course, you will get these books included in the course or with the course when they're ready to be published. And we're hoping that's going to be by October 2020, but we may, if we are able to release them to students before that in a draft format, we will. Further information will be coming about how to purchase those books. And final thing that we're going to talk about on this short video, it's something for later, is that I'm intending on doing some draft HLDs and LLDs again as publications. So it'll have a bit about high level design and low level design, But you'll see here that we talk about, we move into like an actual design document. So in this scenario, I've got high level design example, wide area network, and it's a national MPLS WAN. So that may be within your country, within your region, whatever. And then we talk about the existing network requirements, the applications, where the data centers are, existing network, IP addressing, VRFs, DHCP helpers, etc. And then we move into some network design guidelines and standards. So that would be, for example, if you had global network implementation and design standards, you would have to make this design in line with those and reference them, etc., which are normally separate documents. We talk about routing protocol selection. So this will be an actual HLD that it'll look like as if you were receiving that from or a network architect and they've handed it over to you. And the idea here is that I can create a flow where I've got one publication which is a HLD example, the next publication will be an LLD example. So to wrap up, that was really just to show you where we are with the progress of the course. Again, the subject matters are here, but they have multiple subpoints and we have the bonus section. So if you're interested, it's the 31st of August to the 4th of September. I hope you enjoyed this introduction and the update, and I hope to see you on the course. Thank you very much.